gloves on, we're there at the stadium, and you guys don't show up. That for me is a worry, because in this season where we're playing every 3 days, you're playing a game. If you guys are not up for certain games, sooner or later, by the end of October, you could easily be in the bottom half, just as you started the season. And so if you don't get on it quickly and you don't switch on quickly, it's going to be an issue. And I mean, look, I think apart from the addition of Ronaldo and Yaga Sancho now Rashford leaving us, I think Mason Greenwood as well, being absent from the team is a big miss. I don't know if he'll ever come back. Chances are he doesn't. So we need to find solutions elsewhere. But a team that has found solutions, not even a solution, a cheat code. Erling Haaland, they were winning it, Ngabo Aguero, Ngabo Jesus, but this guy has run away with just about any and every goal-scoring record that you want to put out there. Do you think at this point, with City being as powerful as they are and adding Haaland, do you think that's a cheat code?
Yeah, I thought I was being smart going for a differential and captaining Salah in my FPL team over the weekend.
Yeah.
Because I thought this is Manchester United, and they might keep him out. Like
I did the same thing.
Better
I kept
game.
Jesus. I'm like, maybe he'll score 1 and that's it.
For Liverpool to play against Brighton versus for City to play against United. But I'm at a point where I think he's a set and forget captain. And the reason I say that is because the ability of the boy is unlike anything perhaps we have seen at this stage. Because, Chuck, it boggles my mind. I've seen strikers before, right? And he's most comfortable making the runs beyond the defenders, most comfortable in the box, tapping it in. You have guys who tap it in. You think of an Inzaghi. Part of the reason he played that way is because he couldn't afford to come from outside because he didn't have much pace. But his instinct was par excellence, and when you looked up, like as Sir Alex said, he was born offside. But it's an ability. It's an instinct that strikers have where you just know how to time it just perfectly where you're scoring the goals.
Yeah.
And then you have guys who are athletic, guys who can make those runs. Then you have guys who are big, guys who are dominant in the air. These guys are not usually the same person. They are the same person in this kid. And he's 22, right? So he's got the physical tools to dominate defenders where you're not going to catch him in a foot race. If he's on your shoulder and that ball is played perfectly in time and in sync, he's going to get to it before you. He shows up at a corner kick where he's out jumping everyone. He's more athletic than everybody he's going up against. Physically, it's what you saw with like prime Cristiano Ronaldo. No one has an answer for this guy physically. Like he's too strong to bump off the ball, and he's too quick to say that you're going to get to the ball first. And then what Ronaldo did later on in his career, where he discovered that actually he can score a bunch of goals by adjusting his game like a particular way where he becomes then a more central striker. This boy he's that. He comes into the game as that, not saying he's as good as Ronaldo, but he's got those physical tools. But then also you don't have to teach him finishing. You don't have to teach him the instincts. He has that as well. In this team, that's unfair. As I'm saying, this is a superpower where they have nukes, whereas everybody else still has your AK-47s. They still got weapons from the Cold War. These guys have nukes lined up everywhere. And what do you do? That's why I'm saying when I talk about he's a set and forget captain, because it does not matter. It does not matter who plays against him. It does not matter what system is lined up against him. The reason Foden is able to score the hat-trick is because the defense is so terrified of letting this guy go that you have to account for him all the time. And what then this does, it opens up opportunities for his teammates. So now everybody else is going to be elevated because of, we are either going to say we're going to make the decision that he's not going to beat us, make someone else beat us. Those other guys are good enough. And that system is potent enough where if you do that, it will allow for other guys to beat you. So
man, from Salzburg to
crazy.
Dortmund, he was tearing it up. And we're like, okay, those aren't the best teams, but he's doing that in the Champions League as well. And then he comes into Manchester Blue, where, of his own admission, he says, once I start running and my run is perfectly timed, you're not going to stop me. Imagine him telling you before, you're not going to stop me.
Chuck.
And then point number 2, if Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo find me, you're not going to stop me. You can't stop all those things happening all the time in the game. One of those things will prevail. Either Oxia or either the pass is going to go through. And so there's just too many weapons in the Manchester City team. So, about De Bruyne, Skala ngabo one band, but this one on its own is too much.
He already knows that there are no answers for him.
And he's told us on the mic. The confidence is on another level. It's the same confidence that Mbappe has when he's playing in the Farmers League. But this guy is saying these things. Game number 8 in the Premier League. I mean, we wondered what it'd be like if the Bundesliga was the most popular league in the world, or if League One was the most popular league in the world. Here it is, where the most powerful team that's been racking up titles just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Here we are.
I cannot believe he's doing this in the Prem, though. Like, I see those numbers, and he's on pace for, he's not going to get there, but he's on pace for like 60 something goals in the league alone. And I can't, Chuck. I honestly at this point cannot wrap my mind around the numbers, the sheer numbers that he's getting. You know what, right? And I want to make this argument. I'm making the argument that Kevin De Bruyne is the best player in the world right now, and there's a lot of what City do that is good that it comes through Kevin De Bruyne. Even what Haaland did in this particular game against Manchester United. So he's also improving. That's the other thing. Saw him come deeper. He has a telepathic understanding with De Bruyne. Like, it's when what Scholes was talking about when he was talking to Gary Neville and how he loved Ruud because he knew exactly what Ruud is going to do, and Ruud always knew that if Scholes has the ball, I know exactly what I'm going to get. Same thing Ruud felt for Beckham and why he didn't like Ronaldo. It's the same thing with De Bruyne, where he's a guy who wants to pick a pass all the time, and he's so good that he wants to pick every single pass. And this guy is going to make every single run to give you the opportunity. And the way that Pep has used Kevin De Bruyne, where guys, when teams saw what Haaland did against West Ham, and that threw pass from Kevin De Bruyne, they were like, we're not gonna have him do that anymore. So we are going to have numbers in the middle, and they have to figure out another way. The reason he's scoring all these tap-ins is because so many of these passes, so many of Kevin De Bruyne's assists are coming from the right wing, because Kevin De Bruyne has been shipped that side, because we still want you to be giving the pass because you have the best ability in this team. And we know you're a centre mid, but go out to the right, and he is still delivering from the right, you know? And for me, right now, that is the highest level of football that is perhaps being played in the world. And depending on what City do, like, I'm awarding him the Ballon d'Or. I know it's going to be hard to argue against the numbers, and I'm not going to be mad at that, because that's what I'm saying. Those numbers they shouldn't happen. Not in the Premier League, because this is what we kept on hearing. Messi and Ronaldo, yes, are otherworldly, but they are doing it in La Liga. Who is in La Liga other than them and Atletico, you know? And also when you see Lewandowski doing it in the Bundesliga, and now has moved to La Liga, who were saying, but it is a Liga. And the question has always been, and this comes from the arrogance of like Premier League fans, but also the recognition that the Premier League is deeper. You know, you can have the last place team beat the first place team on any given Saturday or Sunday. But so it's hard to just go and put up those numbers, and he's coming here and he's rubbishing those notions. And
back to back hat tricks at home.
You don't do that. You just don't do that in the Prem until now. And as I'm saying, this is a very special career. I tweeted that I hope he doesn't get injured like throughout his career, because
hope he does. not out of spite, because
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. For me, Chuck, there are just special players and special careers where it's the same thing as I'm a Messi guy, but like I've enjoyed seeing like what Ronaldo has been able to do. And this guy looks like he's primed to do things that we won't see for a generation, and I want to see that. Like, I really want to see that.
When we're talking who's going to take the baton from Ronaldo and Messi, we didn't think they're going to take it at that level. I mean, what Mbappe and Haaland are doing, they are, if this would be a relay race, they are just about touching hands, like giving the baton at that level, because their numbers are astronomical. I mean, we thought it would come down a level and we'll say, oh, at least we got to see Messi and Ronaldo. But at least we're seeing Haaland.
Like aliens
we're seeing
spread
Mbappe.
more aliens.